Right now, there is a new divide within the country. Those who are taking the coronavirus seriously and those who are not. We do not have effective leadership in the White House, but we do have effective leadership in our states and our county governments. We need to be listening to those people and relying on them for information because we're not getting it from the government itself. When I say the government itself, I'm talking about the regime that's in place that doesn't give two shits about us. It was never about us from the beginning, and yet people are still latching on to him. I'm not even going to give him the satisfaction of saying his name. But I'm looking at everything that's been going on about isolation and social distancing, and it just doesn't seem to be getting through the people. And so you have governors like J.B. Pritzker in Illinois who are basically shutting down bars and restaurants. And it was a tough decision for them to make because people's livelihoods are at stake. But here's the thing. He actually Pritzker pleaded with Illinois citizens saying, stay at home. But it was too damn important to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. You know what? St. Patrick's Day will come next year. It will be there. It will still happen. And yet, people still went out to bars. People still went out into the streets. And pretty much it's known already that it's not just going from contact to contact between people. It's like within a 6-foot radius of a person. And I can't fault Pritzker for doing that. And actually, that's the one thing I really admire about Pritzker and also about Roy Cooper here in North Carolina. They're taking a stand. They're making an effort. And they're showing what leadership is, whereas the White House doesn't have any leadership. And I don't care how pissed you are going to get, any of you supporters of him, who I am not going to name. I don't care if you're upset, because you should have woken up to the fact that he doesn't care about you either. And you're fooling yourself if you still believe it. Now, a lot of people may not be happy with what I have to say here, but I'm just going to leave it at this. Self-quarantine if you have to. Isolate yourself if you have to. If you have to go to work, we understand. We're not saying to not go into work. We're saying just be careful. But it seems some people don't want to listen, and that's why this is going to continue to be a problem. I have friends who are being directly impacted by this, and I have friends who are not making a big deal out of it. You need to make a big deal out of it because we're in uncharted territory in terms of my generation and the generation that's coming up next and going forward. We've not endured anything of this magnitude. And for people to have this blasé attitude about it, it's very discouraging. We've been indoors since yesterday. So for almost 48 hours. Actually, I think right now, as we speak, it's been 48 hours. We went out, we grabbed something to eat on Friday evening, and even we felt guilty about doing that. But at the same time, we took responsibility for our actions. And we've stayed out. The only time I've gone outside is to plant some seeds from my garden. That's it. And it's very encouraging to know that some people are taking steps to protect others. And that's all we ask that you do. So, you know where to find me on Twitter and Instagram at ThatByGuy3000. And of course, during this time, be kind, be helpful, be you. And take care of each other because we're going to get through this. But you've got to start listening to the officials who are actually going to take charge while this is still happening. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.